Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're doing the European outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for next week, 10 days across Europe. And I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video release today was our 6-7 UK weather forecast. That's a 10 to 14 down with all our break features coming up for you later on this afternoon as well. So please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, going to start off situation across Europe today. Got a big area of high pressure sitting over Scandinavia, and that's bringing in this east to southeasterly wind from upper continent area of low pressure down towards Spain and Portugal. Upper air temperatures are looking chilly across eastern parts of Europe and cooler out in the west as well. The mildest upper air temperatures are generally down across more southern and southwestern portions of Europe today, as well as the Mediterranean. And as far as the precipitation is concerned today, of course, in that big area of high pressure, there is a lot of dry weather. One or two wintry showers across northern parts of Norway and into the far north of Finland and northwestern Russia. And more notably, some heavy showers into the southeastern portion of Mediterranean, particularly through Greece and Turkey. We've got some very wet weather pushing off the Atlantic across Spain and Portugal. Occasional light showers across southern and southwestern parts of England, but really many areas dry today. Note that big area of high pressure, and temperature-wise, we look like that. So it's quite a coolish scene, really, in western areas, although not especially cold. Scandinavia and the Nordic regions standing out as like the coldest part of Europe, as you'd expect. Generally mild across more southern and southwestern regions, possibly even quite warm into southern parts of Spain and Portugal. That takes through to Friday, so again, we have high pressure dominating across Scandinavia, low pressure down towards Spain and Portugal. Winds once more coming in from that east or southeasterly direction across the west of Europe. Cold upper air temperatures from the far north and northeast of Europe, milder though to the west and to the southwest, especially through France, Spain, Portugal and much of the Mediterranean. Those milder upper air temperatures begin to creep northwards to parts of the Low Countries, Britain and also Ireland. Precipitation-wise, that area of low pressure brings further heavy rain in Spain and Portugal, some of that pushing northwards into France, even into the central bowl of the bed as well, and to the south of France through the Côte d'Azur, looking rather wet through there. Otherwise, though, high pressure is in the ascendancy, it's in control across many parts of Europe tomorrow, bringing lots of dry conditions, really. And again, it's coldest across the far north and northeast of Europe. Rather cool, I suppose, over that area of high pressure, but again, not especially cold, really. And then it comes southwards into France, Spain, Portugal, and into Mediterranean. There, temperatures are looking a little bit milder. Saturday finds low pressure sitting in the Bay of Biscay, so this brings more unsettled conditions to this western and southwestern part of Europe. At the same time, high pressure will be blocking up across Scandinavia. Upper air temperatures looking milder across West Europe. There's milder upper air temperatures coming up from the south through France into Germany, the Low Countries into England as well. At the same time, though, it's getting a bit colder through Scandinavia, actually. Norway, Sweden, and the far northeast of Europe starting to show a little bit of a cool down. And they have generally mild upper air temperatures as we come into this eastern, southeastern portion of Europe as well. Most of the settled weather will be with that area of low pressure around Biscay, so heavy showers, longer spells of rain through France, Spain, Portugal, those pushing on into the central bowl of the Med, affecting the Balearic Islands of Mallorca, Ibiza as well. Otherwise, though, high pressure brings lots of dry weather to much of northern, central and eastern Europe. There comes some heavy showers breaking out through parts of the Balkans there. And temperature-wise, again, on Saturday, it's looking pretty mild across southern Europe, but colder across Scandinavia. Actually, cold air is intensified a little bit there through Norway, Sweden, and up in towards Finland as well. Maybe it's started pushing some of the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania by that point as well. That takes through to Sunday. High pressure event is dominating across the north of Europe. Once again, it's a blocking feature from Scandinavia over to Iceland towards Greenland. We've got low pressure to the south of it across Germany into France. Low countries in between, we've got this push of easterly winds. Those easterly winds aren't particularly cold, but we do have some cold air sitting in the extreme north of Europe and into into the northwest of Russia. Otherwise, very relatively mild around that trough of low pressure across much of Europe, particularly through its eastern and southeastern region. Precipitation, it looks like that. So heavy showers, long spells of rain through Ireland, UK, into France, Spain, Portugal. Some of that wet weather pushing through the Mediterranean towards Italy as well. Meanwhile, further northwards, high pressure dominates across the north and the east and the northeast. Europe brings lots of dry weather. Temperature-wise, it looks pretty mild through the low countries, Germany, Poland, and then southwards in towards Hungary, Austria, around the Black Sea, and going southwards into towards Balkans as well. Generally above average temperatures through here. It could be quite warm into the teens Celsius. Meanwhile, it is a much colder scene, though, further north. So, again, we've got Norway, Sweden, Finland, and coming down to Baltic Sea states, looking really quite cold by Sunday. Probably a bit colder across the UK and Ireland as well, as that easterly wind starts to freshen up. Into Monday, we find again high pressure blocking through Scandinavia towards Greenland, low pressure again to the south bit, winds coming in from the east across much of northern Western Europe. Coldest upper air temperatures are in the north, but it gets progressively milder the further south and southeast we go across Europe with those upper air temperatures. And a more unsettled scene, really, in many areas by Monday. So heavy showers and long spells of rain from Germany to Poland over towards Ukraine. More downpours into the southeastern portion of Europe. Some showery conditions across western parts of Europe, but mainly dry through much of Scandinavia and the Nordic regions and into the Med. So showery on the eastern side of the Med, but drier into the western portion of the Mediterranean. Temperatures look cold across the north of Europe. So again, bitterly cold through Norway, Sweden, and towards Finland. Mildest upper air temperatures are over on the eastern side of Europe, just into the southern portion of Ukraine. And Western Europe looking generally near normal with those temperatures, but probably feeling a bit cold through the UK and the Low Countries with those, and Denmark with those easterly winds. When we go through to Tuesday, low pressure is developing in the Atlantic, then starting to push back in up against that blocking area of high pressure across Scandinavia. That starts to bring some milder upper air temperatures up the western side of Europe. At the same time, it's still quite cold across much of northern Europe. Generally mild with both upper air temperatures through southern and east and southeastern portions of Europe too. Plenty of wet weather coming in from the Atlantic in towards Ireland and the UK, possibly France as well, on Tuesday. And then the first area of low pressure is over on the eastern side of Europe, of course, bringing the wet weather through there, especially into the southeastern portion of the Mediterranean, Greece and Turkey, and northwards up towards Black Sea, seeing lots of heavy downpours. Go north of that, and it's mainly dry across Scandinavia under that area of high pressure. Very cold with temperature, again, across the extreme north and northeast of Europe, but otherwise pretty mild scene across these more southern and western regions. And then into Wednesday, low pressure is dominating across western parts of Europe as the high pressure from Scandinavia begins to retreat back in towards Russia. That starts to pull up more of a southerly flow up western side of Europe, so the upper air temperatures are picking up through the western side of Europe as the cold air starts to go back into retreat. And of course, southern Europe looking generally really quite mild as well. There could be lots of heavy rain piling up west side of Europe, affecting parts of Portugal, possibly into western Spain, and then northwards in towards Ireland and the UK. So that wet weather might get into France and Low Countries as well. And then we have the further wet weather on this east and southeastern side of Europe once again. In between, the areas of high pressure should bring quite a lot of dry weather through those central and northern portions of Europe. It gets milder up the western side of Europe on Wednesday with a push of southerly or southwesterly winds, lifting the temperatures into teens Celsius. Same time, though, the cold air still sitting there in the northeast of Europe and maybe affecting some eastern portions, so Belarus, Ukraine, for example, maybe even eastern Poland, turning a little bit colder by the middle of next week. Thursday sees high pressure across the Baltic Sea states, so Latvia, Estonia and Lithuania, again retreating back into western Russia. Low pressure is dominating across the western side of Europe. Temperature-wise, we look like that. Mildest through Spain, Portugal, France, Low Countries, Germany, northwards in towards Denmark and southern parts of Sweden. Cold across the far north of Europe, cooler in the east of Europe as well. And precipitation-wise, lots of wet weather up the western side of Europe, outbreaks of heavy and persistent rain through France, Spain, Portugal, northwards into the Low Countries, UK and Ireland. Some heavy showers through the central portion of the Med, but meanwhile, many central, northern and eastern regions should be mostly dry on Thursday. And the coldest there of the air is retreating away into the far north of Scandinavia and Nordic regions, also into the northwest of Russia, as these milder temperatures begin to push their way further northwards and eastwards. Notice that zone of yellow temperature shadings gradually pushing their way eastwards. I'll just read on to day 10. So this is Friday next week, 15th of March. High pressure is starting to build up from the south. The general trend through the weekend of the 16th, 17th of March looks to be the high pressure to become increasingly dominant across many parts of Europe, so turning drier through that weekend. The high pressure is building up from the south as well, so that should be bringing lots of mild temperatures with it. If you have a look at upper air temperatures, you can see we've got some very mild upper air temperatures, particularly in the western side of Europe there under that area of high pressure. So a taste of spring for the weekend of the 16th and the 17th of March, potentially. Okay, that's European Outlook for this week. If you found the forecast interesting and informative, please you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. And we'll have another European Outlook for you next Thursday. We're going to be back shortly with your 10 to 14 day. That will include all our great features, so come back for that then. For the European Outlook for this week, though, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.